right, everybody, get hyped! We got Starkiller's kit reveal coming at you live today inside of the Grand Arena Coliseum. Oh, we're finally here. We got the 4 characters required for Starkiller with Dash Rendar, Kyle Katarn, Darth Talent, and just a few moments ago, put a card in the top right-hand corner here. We got the Mara Jade kit reveal, and it's all culminating to today where we finally have the complete kit reveal for Starkiller. After all the effort and money potential you're spending, what is he looking like? Well, come on over here real quick. I promise you, this is gonna be kind of interesting. Come on over. Let me show you what we got. Let me show you what we got here. First things first, this is the video we did on Mara Jade. I put a card earlier in the top right-hand corner. All this info in regards to Starkiller is coming from Cubs Fan Hot. He got the exclusive on Starkiller's kit reveal. It's more of a podcast type of format. Please be sure to check it out if you want to hear. There's a lot of stuff in there. We're mostly focusing on the kit aspect of this video right here. But check this out right here. You guys know that traditionally ultimate abilities are kind of more of a thing for Galactic Legends. I'll say this. This is 5 million times more interesting than any GL we've had so far. Look at this. Look at this. He's yanking a freaking Star Destroyer out of space! Holy cow! This might just take the cake for one of the most interesting, most glamorous animation abilities we have seen in this game. Like, holy cow, absolutely amazing. Oh, look at that. Apparently we're getting Uncanny X-Men Rework from Marvel Strike Force, Marvel Mobile Gamers channel here. We're focusing on Galaxy Heroes right now. Cubs Fan Hot also left a link down below that I'll leave as well. That's going to show all the animation abilities. But we're going to hop over to SWGOH Events' Discord server with a big, massive shout out to Dexter Lab 97 as well as Digital Line. We're putting together a text kit reveal, and if you actually go there as well, you'll see my text kit reveal that I shared for Mara Jade, in case you guys don't have time to watch my video or Operation Metaverse's video. So here we go. Now, I want to put this out there. You guys remember there was a so-called leak that turned out to be fairly true. We got the Qui-Gon Jinn's Omicron. We got the Grand Arena Crystal changes pulling out a Squad Arena. One of the things in there was saying that Starkiller seemed underwhelming. Now, keep in mind, that was many weeks ago that leak came out. That's plenty of time to tune him up. Jedi Knight Revan, originally beta testers said in a leaked format that Jedi Knight Revan was a bit underwhelming. They super tuned him, and he turned out to be the monster that we know today, and especially back in 2018. One thing is with text, the other thing's in operation. We're going to try to separate the two, but on paper and animations, it's looking like a pretty nutty character, but we'll have to wait and see until we can test them out here. Basic ability on him. Oh, also, we don't quite know the tags on him. The speculation is Unaligned Forces or Empire, maybe similar to something like Mara Jade. They did not, to my knowledge, showcase the tags. And comes from Han's video here. Basic ability, which is going to have a Zeta and tons of Omicrons. Lots of Omicrons, just like Boba Fett's Sign of Jango. I got to say, Boba Fett's Sign of Jango is coming at a bad time. There are a lot of great Omicrons lingering out there, with this one being grander specific. Anyway, let's get into it. Basic Zeta, deal physical damage to target enemy twice. If it's Starkiller's turn, inflict shock for 2 turns. And as we kind of talked with Mara Jade, shock is great for Emperor Palpatine, getting more consistent stuns, helps out max protection, all this other fun stuff. And deal physical damage to all enemies, which can't be countered. And if you're unleashed, reduce the special cooldown by 1. The overall idea of this kit is you're trying to build up Starkiller's force energy, and it's supposed to culminate into him turning into like an ultimate galactic legend where he's literally going to unleash the Force, or like the game name suggests, Force Unleashed. Really brilliant kit design, kind of integrating all these little things in here. Moving on, special number 1. Actually, let's take a look at the animations here. That basic ability is called IMBUED Lightsaber Strike. Here we go. Oh, they did a pretty good job on the animation. I mean, I as much as I love Master Kenobi and I hate Lord Vader, they have some pretty underwhelming animations for Ultimate in general. They did a pretty good job here. First special ability, Boundless Force Throw. Let's go ahead and hop over here. Deal physical damage to target enemy and deal dazed and vulnerable for 2 turns, which can't be resisted, and gain 25 stacks of force energy. Hold on to that force energy thought. This ability can't be evaded, and if you have unleashed, inflict buff immunity and healing immunity for 2 turns, which can't be resisted. And here's where the first Omicron comes into action. While in Grand Arena, mass buff this spell, and then I'm guessing that's buff immunity and health heal immunity is a locked debuff, meaning you can't cleanse it. So think of Jedi Master Kenobi, Jedi Training Grade, where you can't get rid of healing immunity, and healing immunity is incredibly important as well. More so when you're trying to take down a galactic legend like Sith Eternal. Anyone that gets tons of heals, you want to stop them from healing, like Lord Vader, for example. So this is going to be big, and we are still debating what's going to be more important, Grand Arena territories with these new Grand Arena changes. Grand Arena Omicrons might be more important than things like Boba Fett's Sign of Jango's territory bonuses. It's really hard. Omicrons are going to be a thing. As we said in the Mara Jade interview, video that we did earlier, developers' intentions for all characters moving forward is adding Omicron. So I would say especially wait for the next few updates to see what the rest of the reworked Omicrons are for the old characters as well. Let's go ahead and take a look at the animation for Boundless Force Throne. It's like, where was this talent? And I'm not saying this is the coolest thing in the galaxy, but when it comes to Galaxy of Heroes level, this is far better than a lot of the Galactic Legend animations that we see out there. You know, at least they did something pretty cool. This is a pretty iconic game for a lot of people, celebrating the 50th anniversary for Lucasfilm. Next ability, Force Repulse. I saw a lot of people hope that they add that to his kit. Special number 2, Force Repulse. This spell all buffs on target enemy. And then you're going to deal physical damage to all enemies, which can't be evaded. And 5% more damage for each buff dispelled. So teams that have tons of buffs, let's just take out Grandmaster Yoda, for example. That's going to be a big detriment to them. And if he's unleashed, 25% more damage for each buff dispels. I think the best way to kind of put this in perspective is think of like a Boba Fett, normal Boba Fett, not Sign of Jango, and maybe Geno's in Spy, where it's kind of based on how many buff status effects are on him, and that's going to translate to more damage. So it could be a pretty high-hitting damage ability right here. But while in Grand Arena, Omicron kicking in right here. This spell all buffs on all enemies. He's just going to literally suck up all their buffs. Oh gosh, that's going to be so dirty for Grand Arena. And then just translate it into tons of damage based on how many buffs were dispelled. He's truly letting the Force get unleashed here. My gosh, absolutely nuts. Let's check this out here. Ooh. Really cool animation they got going on here. I know it's a very minor detail, but I do love some of the background artwork they've done for a lot of the characters and events that we've seen lately. Really cool seeing all this, man. I can only imagine. Again, we don't have numbers. Paper is different than action, as we've kind of seen time and time again. It's cool to get excited on the paper, but we got to wait and see how much damage does it actually do. I suspect for a character it's like a baby Galactic Legend almost. Should do something pretty bonkers. And here we go to the granted ability. Size means nothing, which as they label it here, we'll get to the unique ability in a moment. They kind of call it an ultimate. It is kind of like an ultimate here. Deal damage equal to 80% of Starkiller's max health to all enemies and stun them for 1 turn, which can't be resisted. Allies recover 100% health and protection. Absolutely nuts. And if the attack defeats the enemy, Starkiller gains a bonus turn, and it can't be evaded. This ability can only be used once per battle. So as much as it's cool to just keep pulling Star Destroyers out of the sky, there's only a limited supply of Star Destroyers. So unlike, for example, Piet, where you can just keep firing the Death Star, very hard to get it to go off a second time. This is only going to be one time only. So if you're going to use this, you're going to want to use this at the right moment to really get the most out of it, getting the stuns. And I just can't believe, like, Lord Vader has some of the most underwhelming. Oh gosh, can we just watch it one more time? Holy cow, man! Wow. If you haven't played Force Unleashed, truly, this is a guy that can almost do it all, I think here. Moving on over to the unique ability. Starkiller has a 30% counter chance, critical chance, defense, penetration, and offense. Starkiller is immune to fear. So Darth Revan, Piet's fear, not really going to do all that much, unfortunately. Starkiller gains 4 stacks of force energy, maximum of 100. And every time he deals damage to an enemy, if this attack was critical, gain 5 stacks instead. At 100 stacks, he loses all stacks of this force energy, which he's trying to build throughout his kit, and gains Unleashed, which, as we saw, unlocks additional effects here. And then he has Unleashed until the end of the battle, which can't be copied. This spell door prevents it. All his cooldowns are then reset and increase his counter chance, critical chance, defense, penetration, and offense by 100%. He then takes a bonus turn and dispels all debuffs on himself. and if there are no Galactic Legend allies, doesn't even ask if there's a Galactic Legend enemies here, he gains the special ability. Size means nothing. Whew. So it's not quite a Galactic Legend character per se, but you could definitely see, for example, with Kenobi's High Ground, Lord Vader's Ashes of the Republic, gaining additional effects. We have to wait and see how it works in application. And before we wrap up with our initial thoughts, there is one more unique ability on this character. Oddly enough, no leader ability, but these unique abilities are pretty bonkers, and they can maybe be considered a backup leader when you do have a leader inside of the leader slot here. Unique number 2, there is much conflict in you, which also requires an Omicron. That's 1, 2, 3 Omicrons on this guy here. If there are no Galactic Legend allies, and Starkiller has exactly 1 Sith, 1 Jedi, 1 is unaligned Force user, and 1 Darkside unaligned Force user. All allies gain 100% critical damage, max health, and 35 speed. They also gain 100% max protection until the first time Starkiller is defeated, and all allies are immune to daze and stun. And if in Grand Arena, Omicron kick it in here. If there's 1 Sith, 1 Jedi, 1 Darkside unaligned Force user, and 1 is unaligned Force user, all debuff enemies gain 50% less damage. Jedi tanks taunt for 1 turn. Hold that thought for a moment. Starkiller assists whenever a Sith ally uses a basic ability with 20% damage. Whenever another Darkside unaligned Force user uses special ability, allies gain critical hits immunity for 1 turn. And whenever Starkiller uses a special ability, Lightside allies have their cooldowns reduced by 4, and Jedi tanks gain damage, immunity, and taunt for 1 turn. This is by far the definitive best boost for unaligned Force users. Right now, the most unaligned Force user synergy we kind of see is with Lord Vader and with Maul. For example, Conquest Maul, that is Kylo Ren being in the Lord Vader teams. Asajj Ventress as an unaligned Force user. There's a little bit of unaligned Force user stuff with Ahsoka Tano and Jedi Master Commit. There really hasn't been like anything that's focused on unaligned Force users. This might be interesting, and I'm going to put this out there. This is speculation time. Seeing a lot of Jedi tank stuff going on here makes me want to believe Ram Kota, Starkiller is kind of like Master inside of Force Unleashed, might become the Galaxy of Heroes. So there might be more to learn about this, but this is the first time that we might actually see an unaligned Force user base team. This might kind of pair into what we said earlier. There's no direct confirmation of what tags this guy might have. You would presume he'd had some Empire stuff, but there's no Empire callouts going on here. This might be the first unaligned specific character to come to Galaxy Heroes, and that might be it. He just might be Darkside unaligned, and that could possibly be it. He comes out December 15th with his brand new event that we've seen over here inside of, you can actually see it right now, inside of the Starkiller Legacy event, inside of the Journey Guide here. Looks pretty exciting, and especially with Grand Arena. Boba Fett sign of Jango is cool, don't get me wrong. We're still waiting to unlock him another, this conquest and 1 more conquest. But unless they put something else in territories, Grand Arena is going to be the most important game mode in my opinion, since it's tied to daily crystals, and crystals are it's the foundation for feeding your roster, getting the energy, purchasing gear perhaps. So we'll have to wait and see how these Omicrons and the Grand Arena the Grand Arena focus is going to be. In my opinion, I've been holding off on Omicrons. Originally, Boba Fett sign of Jango is my game plan, and this character might be the one to get my first Omicrons if you're going to want to maybe stay competitive in Grand Arena. But don't worry, it's skill based. So if you don't have Starkiller, you might get matched with the Starkiller, but don't worry, I'm sure there's going to be plenty of ways to beat it. It looks pretty nutty. We'll have to wait and see what time will tell. So December 15th, if you want to see what this guy is all about and what his legacy event is looking like, feel free to stop on by the biggest and deadliest Star Destroyer. We also have a Grand Arena Coliseum, in case you don't know, and we got a great bar in the crack. We have a lot of great amenities. So guys, thank you so much for stopping by. Although we don't get exclusives around here, it's great having each and every one of you guys here. And you know what's exclusive to us here? Us saying, it's great to be in the Empire today. I love you guys.